and the Twins also wrapping up a doubleheader, playing game one earlier today. Astros bats were very alive, 19 hits, and 4 of those came from the bat of Jose Altuve, who continues to get it rolling. He's been hot on the road. His batting average over 500 since May 1st on the road. But what he's done overall this season is still pretty eye-popping, and that's Jack in the Box inside the scores. Taking a look at where Jose Altuve stands today with his .366 batting average and where that compares to some other Astros and where they finished their seasons. Jeff Bagwell on the top with that incredible 1994 MVP year. .368 is the number to keep in the back of your mind as Altuve continues to do what he does. 2 4-hit games now in his last 2 games. That's for this year. He's also on this list in 2014 with that .341 average. That's when he won the American League batting title, and we didn't think he could get any better, and he is doing just that, putting together an MVP caliber season, impressing everyone across the league. You'll see him pretty soon here as the Astros take on the Twins in Game 4 from Minnesota. Don't go anywhere.
Is presented by Toyota. Let's go places. By Jack in the Box. Taste the all-new Jack's Brewhouse Bacon Burger today at Jack in the Box for a limited time only at participating restaurants. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It's Game 2 of the day-night doubleheader here from Target Field in Minneapolis. The Astros won the day game 15-7. They are now 59-55, and they take the field tonight in the orange tops. They wore the gray tops this afternoon. Cloudy skies here. It was sunny this afternoon, very humid. There might be rain moving in later, but it is certainly fine to play right now. This is the extra game created by the rain out last night, and it's forced both managers to come up with different starting pitchers. Tommy Milone, the left-hander, on the mound warming up for the Twins. He'll be facing this Astros lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And George Springer is the leadoff man, but he's playing a different position. Springer's in center field for this game. Alex Bregman is at third base with Jose Altuve DHing, batting third. It's Carlos Correa, the shortstop, batting fourth, followed by second baseman Marwin Gonzalez, catcher Evan Gattis, right fielder Preston Tucker, first baseman Tyler White, left fielder Tony Kemp.
On the bump for the Minnesota Twins, it will be Tommy Milone. Tommy Milone lost his spot in the starting rotation when Hector Santiago got traded over from the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Tommy Milone now will make that spot start in this second game. The last time he started was July 30th, as you see his numbers. That combined average between lefties and righties against Tommy Milone is a .303 batting average.
Malone in his career 1-1 against the Astros, a 4.79 ERA. George Springer gets it started. And he takes strike one. Springer's on a 4-game hitting streak. His .257 average includes 22 homers. He's driven in 65 runs and has 5 hits and 12 at-bats with 5 runs batted in this series. The changeup is a big pitch for Tommy Milone. It's 1-1. Throws his fastball about 35% of the time. Changeup about 34% of the time. It's 81 degrees at game time. Springer cracks a line drive, and that's a one-hopper right at Brian Dozier. And that is out number 1. That ball was scorched. Dozier short hopped it. So Malone has luck on his side, and out number 1.
That was a pretty loud out.
Bet it was.
Fastball away. George just goes with it, laces it up the middle.
Alex Bregman on a 5-game hitting streak. Also had a nice game 1. Just about everybody did. The Astros had 19 hits and scored 15 runs. There's ball 1 to Bregman, a 150 hitter, no homers, 4 runs batted in. He had a double and a sac fly to go with a walk, scoring twice in the opener. Bregman gets that one in the air foul. It's 1-1. Bregman playing third base again as he did this afternoon, but at the end of the game he moved to shortstop. Carlos Correa was taken out of the game and got a few innings of rest. It's 1-2. Malone, with that ability to change speeds, has had some effective outings against the Astros.
That changeup you're talking about, Brownie, and I think the reason he's fastball changeup is because the batting average against that curveball is so high. It's 346.
Backhand play by the shortstop Polanco over to Mauer. 2 outs. Twins getting another look at Jorge Polanco at short. He turned in an outstanding game at shortstop in the Tuesday night affair and also played Monday night. So it seems that even though he went to AAA, Rochester did not play that position at all. He might be a guy they want to see quite a bit from here on out. Jose Altuve continues to shock a lot of people, but boy, is he fun to watch. Shouldn't be a shock anymore. There's strike 1. 366 batting average, 19 homers, 71 runs batted in, 8 for 9 in this series with 4 runs batted in. Back-to-back 4-hit games for Altuve. Pitch is inside. It's 1-1. He has absolutely put on a show against the Twins this season. He's 12 for 22. His lifetime figures against the Twins are 40 hits and 98 at-bats, more than a 400 batting average. Inside, and it's 2-1. He was interviewed after the game, game 1. He said he planned to curl up on the couch and take a little nap before the nightcap.
He can do whatever he wants, and he does whatever he wants.
The way things are going, he's dreaming of extra base hits. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Second in the league in total bases. He leads the league in on-base average and the majors. Malone's 1-1 with a 4.79 ERA against the Astros. He had a relief appearance against them in Houston May 3rd. Gave up 3 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. Altuve reaches for it, grounds it just wide of third base, and he'll come back with a 2-2 count. Altuve's a .300 hitter against Malone, 6 for 20 with a homer. Twins are going to be really happy to see him leave town.
A lot of teams say that.
They might provide limousine service to the airport after this game.
Police escort.
Malone was drafted by Washington in 08, and he moved along in a trade to Oakland, joining the Twins in 2014. There's another ground ball foul. Tommy last year went 9-5 with a 3.92 ERA. He made 23 starts. He made 11 starts this season. He's been in the bullpen. He's also been to AAA Rochester. So he gets another opportunity here, just probably a spot start in game 2 of a doubleheader. That's ripped foul past Gary Pettis.
Nice play.
Good play. Sparse crowd here at the outset of game 2. Day-night doubleheader. Separate gates for the Twins. There's about 3 hours in between games. Altuve taps one, then he kicks it, so he's out. fair ball hit him in fair territory. The catcher gets credited with a putout, 2 unassisted. It's a 1-2-3 first for Malone. Chris Devenski to the mound in just a moment. Top of the first, Astros fans watching as Chris Devenski warms up to face this Minnesota Twins lineup. Brian Dozier at second base, Joe Mauer at first, Max Kepler in right field, Miguel Sano the DH, Trevor Plouffe at third, Jorge Polanco at short, Eddie Rosario in center, Kurt Suzuki the catcher, and Danny Santana the left fielder.
Chris Devenski comes out of that bullpen for this spot start, picking up the duties in this doubleheader. He has made 4 starts already on this season. He has done extremely good as a reliever. Curveball's been good for him, but obviously we know that he has a very good fastball and a great changeup.
Brian Dozier gets it started. Dozier rips one to left field, and that hook's foul. It's strike one. Dozier has been really blasting some balls. He's hit 23 homers. He's driven in 66 runs.
That kid didn't look too happy about having a laser beam shot at him.
Now when you're talking about nachos being at stake there. Dozier puts one in the air to right. Here's Preston Tucker with a long run into the right field corner. That one hops the wall. Dozier heads for second. He's going to go there and stop. Throw comes back into Correa, and it's a leadoff double. Number 26 of the year for Dozier. Like he might turn for third.
Getting a little greedy, but made the smart option and stayed at second base, leaving himself in scoring position. Dozier has plenty of pop. This one tailing away from Preston Tucker down that right field line. Tough play.
Well, the Twins get their leadoff man in scoring position for Joe Mauer. 279, 9 homers, 42 runs batted in for Mauer. He was 1 for 4 in the opener today. Strike for Devenski. Mauer has scored 58 times. Hits the ball very well and hard to the left of second base. That's where George Springer is stationed in left center field. Change-up hit out to left center. Here's Springer going for it and making a good running catch. Here's the tag by Dozier. The throw right in on the money to Alex Bregman. 1 down. Nice to have a George Springer who can slide over from right field to play center and give Jake Marisnick a game off.
Yeah, he's pretty good. It's such a luxury. Now he's got some more room to roam out there in center field, and obviously has that cannon. Shows it off right there.
Well, Springer getting the call in center, and he is a legitimate center fielder, but he's getting his first start this year at that position. Max Kepler with a .258 average has 15 homers. Time called. The umpires have been joined by Mike Machlinski, who is the home plate umpire. He was not on this crew for game 1 of the doubleheader. Kepler takes a look, and it's a strike. Kepler, really good looking player. is atop the leaderboard for American League rookies and homers and runs batted in. He was 1 for 4, driving in 3 in the opener of this doubleheader. Had 2 hits Tuesday night as well. Devenski misses, and it's 1-1. Kepler was the MVP of the Southern League last year at Chattanooga.
Take a look at that last pitch on our strike zone, brought to you by MD Anderson, and that is a well-located fastball. Not well enough.
That's pulled to right field. Tucker backing on it. Just short of the warning track. He has it. Here's Dozier tagging and taking third on out number 2. And Miguel Sano will be the batter. Sano, the powerful DH, is 2 for 8, including a homer in this series. Did not play in game 1. He's hit 19 homers, driving in 48 with a .249 batting average. Devenski is making his 5th start. He was in the rotation in late April on through mid-May with 4 starts. Sano takes it in. It's ball 1. Chris has done just such a marvelous job in relief. The batting average against him is way lower in relief than it is as a starter. Fouled away with a breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, but the Astros had to come up with a game 2 starter in this twin bill when the game was rained out last night. Dallas Keuchel started, and he went 2 innings last night, so the Astros had to dip into their bullpen for this game. This one gets by. Dozier started toward the plate, but Gaddis went back and retrieved it. And it's 1-2. There weren't viable options to promote a minor league starter for this game. The guys the Astros would have considered prominently didn't have enough rest.
Gaddis did a good job of moving over there. Just didn't get the glove down in time. Almost got beat 5-hole for that run.
Yeah, Dozier took a few steps. Trevor Plouffe is on deck. Sano fouls the fastball. Oh, both teams, in fact, dipping into the bullpen, because even though Malone has been in the rotation much of the year, recently he has worked more in relief, and both of these guys worked in relief last Sunday. He gets a strikeout, and that's a good way to finish the first after Devenski allowed the leadoff double, stranding Dozier at third to keep the first inning scoreless.
Doubleheader in Minnesota. No score between the Astros and Twins, and it's time for our Geico quote of the day. And of course, it's Ernie Banks. It's doubleheader day. Let's play 2. I tell you what, if I had Ernie Banks' skill level, I would have asked to play 2 every day too.
Oh yeah. Great player, great human being. Carlos Correa leads it off in the second inning. Kind of modern day Ernie Banks, a slugging shortstop. 17 homers, 77 runs batted in now for Carlos. After some big games recently, his numbers have been swelling. There's ball one. And Carlos had the 3-run homer in the 5th inning of the opener, going 2 for 4 today. Right back at it here, taking ball 2. He's had quite a season series. Correa with 3 homers, 11 runs batted in 6 games against the Twins. That's in for a strike, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Malone starting the day with a 5.23 ERA.
Man, I just make it close. You don't have to call everything.
6-game hitting streak for Correa, and it's 3-1. Ball 4, leadoff walk, 59th walk for Carlos. He's aboard for Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin tied his career high by getting 4 hits in a game in the opener today. Marwin also drove in a couple in the Astros' 15-7 afternoon win. 256, 10 homers, 31 runs batted in, 5 for 13 in the series for Marwin. Playing second base, so Altuve can rest his legs a little bit and DH. And the throw goes over. That's where Marwin's value lies. His ability to play all the various positions. The Astros head for Toronto after this game. They'll open up a 3-game set there tomorrow with a night game. That's in for a strike. Throw goes over to first.
I feel like I'm yelling at everybody today. At least in this game too.
It's pretty quiet in here, isn't it?
Yeah. I apologize.
It's okay. No apology necessary. Evan Gattis on deck. It's 1-1. The first game took 3 hours and 2 minutes. A lot of hitting. Astros banged out 19 hits. The Twins had 12. A total of 22 runs, 31 hits. Despite that, this is considered to be a more favorable park for the pitcher than the hitter.
Astro hitters are trying to change that.
Yeah, they are. In for a strike, 1 and 2. Well, the Twins' ERA does not reflect it. 4.90.
Wow. It's a tough year when the team ERA is right around 5.
They've allowed 600 runs. The Astros have allowed 463 runs. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kansas City is next up for the Twins. They'll continue their homestand. They came off a very good road trip. 5-2 to Cleveland and Tampa Bay. Foul back by Marwin, still 2-2. At home, the Twins have won 24. They've lost 34. This is quite a beautiful ballpark.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I didn't have a chance to play here. I had the luxury of playing in the Metrodome, but this looks a little bit nicer. Walked around on the field before yesterday's game. Beautiful sight lines. Surface looks great.
First game here was in April of 2010. Now Malone, even though he's been starting, may not be expected to go that deep into this game. I think you could say the same for Davinsky. Correa's 10 for 13 in steals. So the pitch count for both these guys could be really important as far as the managers making those decisions. Now Suzuki's going out to chat with Malone, and in game one it was really a bullpen issue for Paul Molitor. He used Mike Tonkin for 33 pitches, 2 innings. Buddy Boshears threw 32 pitches in an inning and a third. 25 pitches for JT Chargois, and Rogers threw 15 pitches. Then they went to a position player, Escobar, for 1 inning in relief for Paul Molitor. Still, he saved the frontline guys. If he has a lead after 6, he'll feel pretty good. The Astros are in much more favorable shape as far as rested relievers go. They used only Tony Sipp, and Yandel Gustave made his major league debut to get the final 3 outs, with Doug Fister going 7 and picking up his 11th win.
What's interesting is that so many relievers used, the Twins were unable to get somebody up from AAA. So they're working with a 25-man roster.
Pop fly hit, and there into second is Correa to make it a hit, because the Twins had a force opportunity, but Kepler couldn't get there. Dozier was slanting back. He couldn't make the catch on a Gonzalez pop fly single.
Good base running by Correa.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes you get blown up. You see him shaking that right hand. He's had issues with that right hand here recently, getting some right-handed ABs now, but Carlos Correa had a great read on that pop fly hit.
Evan Gattis has an opportunity now with 2 men on, nobody out. He did not play in game 1. Evan takes, and there's strike 1. 226 for Evan, 17 homers, 43 runs batted in. 1 for 7 in this series. He's hit 4 homers his last 16 games. 1-1, despite the fact that these dimensions are somewhat friendly for pitchers. 411 to left center field. Ball's been traveling well in this series.
I completely agree with that. We've seen a couple of swings from Carlos Correa going the opposite field. Didn't really have much of that entire body behind the swing, just able to get the arms extended and hit one off the wall and drove one in the gap.
Gattis looks at it. It's ball 2 to Evan. Evan's 0 for 2 against Tommy Malone. Twin starter in game 1. Berrios threw just 2 innings plus. Now 3 balls and a strike. Rangers lost today at home to Colorado. The Astros are currently 8 games behind Texas, having picked up a game today in the standings. And they're a game and a half back of second place Seattle right now. Gattis grounds wide of third.
Looked like pretty good weather in Dallas for a ball game.
What, about 107 or so?
Yeah, I think the heat index was right around there. A lot of runs scored in that game too.
Yeah. 12-9 final with Colorado taking it. Snap the Rangers winning streak at 5. Sparse crowd cheering for Malone here. That's a shot to left center field. Rosario way back. Gattis has hit it out. A 3-run homer for Evan Gattis. Number 18 for Gattis, giving him 46 runs batted in, and it's 3-0 Houston.
I think that swing right there typifies what you were just talking about, Brownie, as far as the ball flying out of this ballpark. Not sure it has something to do with the weather. It's hot, muggy, and sticky, but the ball is jumping.
That one did. We've seen some others too like this.
Just get the barrel on it, elevate it, stay through it. See, another upper body swing, but enough pop to get it out in that bullpen in left center field. It's good to see.
You bet. Gattis goes deep, and now Preston Tucker pulls one. There's strike 1 to Tucker. Well, Jason Castro did the catching in game 1. He had 3 hits and a walk. Now Gaddis, catcher in game 2, rips one out of the ballpark. Third career homer for him against the Twins. That's the 13th homer surrendered by Malone, who's in his 64th inning. One ball, one strike. That's a very good sign for the Astros. If they can get this Twins club down and Devenski can give them, we'll say 4 or 5 innings, they have a bullpen in good shape right now. Fly ball near the left field line. Santana comes over into foul territory. Had a pretty good run, and he got there for out number 1. Tyler White will follow. He came off the bench in the opener, lined out to left field in the 8th inning in his only at bat. Pinch hitting in the leadoff spot. George Springer got a couple innings off. White with 7 homers has driven in 22 with a .206 average. He's 0 for 11 against Minnesota pitching. At strike 1 for Malone. Twins have won 46. They've lost 68. And there's another one, 0-2. Malone misses low. 1 ball, 2 strikes for the veteran left-hander, 29 years old, from Saugus, California, and the University of Southern California. In his career, he's won 44, lost 31. Rolled out towards shortstop. Polanco with the charging play. 2 outs. Tony Kemp will bat. Kemp has gotten an opportunity to move right into the lineup since arriving over the weekend from AAA Fresno. .259 is his average. No homers, 4 runs batted in. Tony came off the bench to go 0 for 2 in game 1. He's been starting though. Takes a look at ball 1 there. So the outfield mix has changed with the designation for assignment of Carlos Gomez. There's a liner to center field, and the number 9 hitter Kemp parks one out there in the middle of the ballpark for hit number 3 in the inning. Good line drive swing for Tony.
Yeah, that was pretty. You can tell he squared that one up from where we were sitting because it kind of knuckleballed back into center field. That was a good look at it. It looked like it's going to start to slice, but you can see it kind of doing the shimmy on the way out. That's because he squared that up nicely.
Now George Springer bats. George grounded out to second, but it was really a low line drive. Snagged on the short hop by Dozier as he opened the game. Runner going. Here's the throw, and it's high and it's late. Stolen base for Kemp, his second as an Astro this year.
You know, Kurt Suzuki has issues throwing. Kind of takes him a little while to unfold and let that ball go. But Tony Kemp going on first move. There's a good look at it right there. As soon as that right leg comes up from the left-hander, Tony's gone.
Now Springer takes it. It's a strike. 0-2 to George. George jammed on that one, gets it over into foul territory, and unable to get there. Joe Mauer watches it bounce and go into the seats. Still 0-2. Yeah, the team bus left the hotel, which is just a few blocks away from Target Field, at 9:30 this morning.
Feels like 10 minutes ago.
Ripped over third into the left field corner. Kemp will come around to score to make it 4-0. Springer into second. Here's Santana with the throw. George has an RBI double. 5-game hitting streak for George. 66 runs batted in, 21 doubles.
trying to get in the kitchen of George Springer. Does a good job of pulling the hands in, getting the barrel on it. Good hustle, and this just seems to be a continuation of game one so far.
Very encouraging. 4 hits and 4 runs already for the Astros.
You know what's great about not having that many fans in here is that you can really hear the sound off the bat.
Yeah, true.
And it's good.
It's a good loud noise. Alex Bregman looks at ball 1. He grounded out to short in the first inning. Malone was outrighted to AAA Rochester May 7th. He was 4-0 there with a 1.66 ERA at 7 starts. 1 ball, 1 strike, so a chance for him today to reassert the fact that he's going to make a case for the rotation, but it is not going well early. Bregman takes, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Astros 19 hits this afternoon in the 15-7 win. Was a single game high for the club this year. Bregman looks at it, and it's 3-1. Ball 4 to Bregman. And the 9th hitter in the inning will be Jose Altuve. Second walk for Malone.
That is not a good pitch count if you're a spot starter. Not sure how stretched out Tommy Milone is or what that number that Paul Molitor wanted him to get to is, but I know he's creeping up on it extremely fast. But you got to give credit to the Houston Astros having some quality at bats. Not afraid to get deep in counts off Tommy.
Jose Altuve grounded right in front of the plate, and then the ball touched him in fair territory. He's 0 for 1. He's reached base in 40 consecutive road games. And during that time, he's hit .484. That's strike 1 to Altuve. Jeff Bagwell had a 52-game road on base streak from 98 through 99, and another one of 43 straight. Altuve takes, and it's 1-1 for Jose. He had a 47-point lead in the batting race coming into this game. Bouncer to Dozier at second. Down on a knee. Over to first. And the Astros send 9 to the plate in the second inning. They explode with 4 runs. 3 off the bat of Evan Gattis with his 18th homer. They lead it 4-0.
A 4-run lead over the Twins, and it's time now for our Ford Spray chart, talking about Chris Devenski and that breaking ball. He has had time as a reliever, has had time as a starter. Curveball chase percentage hasn't been very good as a starter, but it's been excellent as a reliever, and I believe that's because he's got some limited time out of that bullpen. He doesn't have to come in and try and stretch himself out throwing multiple innings. He goes out there, can throw that fastball. We've seen him reach 95 miles an hour, and I think the more velocity you get on the heater, the better action you're going to have on that curveball and make it more effective.
4-0 lead now. Devenski gets a foul fly ball headed for the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe with 7 homers, 27 runs batted in, is hitting .249. 1 for 7 in this series, 0 for 1 in game 1 of this day-night doubleheader. This is only the 10th doubleheader in the majors this season. Ground ball third. 2-hopper for Bregman. 1 out.
It's good to see Alex Bregman playing such a good third base. Had an error in that game yesterday that was washed out, that didn't count, that never happened. But he's been playing a very good third base since moving from shortstop to third base. Rumor has it that Adam Everett's down in Corpus Christi, checking on those guys down there in Double-A too.
Yes. Jorge Polanco, switch hitting shortstop, looks at ball 1. Polanco, a .324 hitter, has 1 homer, 10 runs batted in. He's looked very good in this series. He's had 5 hits in the 3 games he's played in this series. 2-0. Yeah, Yulieski Gurriel is playing at Corpus Christi. We just had a question on Twitter asking if Gurriel is going to play for the Hooks tomorrow or will he move up to AAA. Billy Sanchez thinking about trying to go down and see him. We're not sure about that, but we've not heard that the plan is for him to go to AAA Fresno. From what we've been told, as the count goes to 3-1, he's going to play a few games for Corpus, probably join the Astros next week at home with St. Louis coming in. That could change. 3-2. So, Billy, we don't want you to drive down there and not see him, but take your chances, right? Here's Alex Bregman out in shallow left field, calling for it in front of Tony Kemp. 2 outs. And if Devenski can conserve his pitches, of course, he would have to go 5 innings to qualify for the win. As the starting pitcher, that could be his first major league win.
That would be glorious for everybody. It'd be great for Devenski to check that off the big league bucket list, and it'd also be great for A.J. Hinch, knowing that he economized the bullpen in it. Could have been a very threatening doubleheader.
True, and then save those bullpen guys for the Toronto series coming up. There's ball 1 to Rosario. 269, 7 homers. He's driven in 25. He rolls over on that one, and it's 1-1. Rosario had 3 hits in the opener of this series. 3 for 12 overall. Had a tough night in game 2 Tuesday night. 0 for 4 with 4 punch outs. Foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now, about right here. Come on. Work.
Before game 1, Astros pitchers had a 2.69 ERA for the month of August. And they were leading the AL in strikeouts, second in ERA. 1 and 2. And the Twins did come back and score some runs late. They got 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. So Doug Fister wound up allowing 5 earned runs in 7 innings. He had 2 men on base when he left the game, and they later scored and were charged to him. But he did a heck of a job. It's a very warm afternoon here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball to first. Tyler White. It's a 1-2-3 second, and the Astros lead it 4-0 after 2.
For nothing. And Astros group tickets will create an experience your group is sure to remember. Visit astros.com/groups or call 1-877-9-ASTROS to enjoy special pricing and great benefits by reserving your group today. Houston Astros will continue their road trip as we head to Toronto after this game in the midst of a 17-game stretch. Days off right now are very important to this team. A.J. Hinch has been trying to get guys days off every once in a while, but there was a chance of rain tonight, and I'm hearing it's much better. Forecast looks like it's clearing out. To get this game in, though, guys, was extremely important for this team. They need that day off Monday. They spent a lot of this month on the road, and especially for the pitching. We will have some roster moves coming our way this weekend. Ken Giles will not travel with the team this weekend as they are expecting their first child here over the weekend. So getting to Toronto and getting back home would have been too much to risk, so he will head home after this.
That's a shot to center field by Correa. He hit a bomb in the first game. Here's another one. 2 home runs to center field today for Carlos Correa, and both were no doubters. That's number 18 of the year for Correa, giving him 78 runs batted in. It's 5-0 Houston.
Whoa. It's a big time bomb.
Similar to his game 1 shot.
Goodness.
This one was higher, I think, Blummer.
Yeah, this is not missing a pitch. That is, oh my gosh, right down the middle. And Carlos Correa annihilated that one. He just stood up on that one and admired it. Second deck to the opposite field gap.
Boy.
My goodness.
What a big swing.
About 30 feet below where that ball landed. It's 403, so just go ahead and guesstimate on that one.
Gonzalez grounds to third. Trevor Plouffe without number 1. Well, Julia, a couple of nights ago, was up in that area they call the catch, which was just left of where he hit it.
Catch that.
Yeah.
All right, estimated 445 feet. 109 miles again off the bat. Saw that in the home run in the first game of this doubleheader. Man, that's a good feeling.
Just to the right of that area they call the catch.
Honey, we'll be fine all the way out here. Nobody will ever hit the ball up here.
Gaddis hits a sharp grounder. Plouffe takes care of out number 2. Well, the Astros with 2 bombs in this game now have hit 138. They had a home run drought. They broke out of that. They went 7 games, 72 innings without a long ball, and then Correa ripped a 2-run shot here Tuesday night to get things rolling. So for the season, he's hit 4 homers against the Twins. He's driven in 12. Preston Tucker bats. Strike 1 to Tucker. No balls, 2 strikes. Joe Musgrove will start tomorrow night against Francisco Liriano, a lefty for Toronto. Saturday there's a day game for Colin McHugh and Aaron Sanchez. 1-2. And Sunday in the finale of the road trip, it's Mike Fiers and Marcus Stroman. Airtime tomorrow night for the pregame show will be 5:30, and for Saturday and Sunday 11:30. It's 2-2. Kevin Chapman has been added to the Astros roster. He is the 26th man for the second game of the doubleheader. That's something that Major League Baseball started a few years ago. That's pulled foul. Only on doubleheader days, and he could not be added to the roster until after game 1. Had this doubleheader been scheduled as long as 48 hours in advance, he could have been added for the full day for both games. So for A.J. Hinch, it worked out perfectly. He didn't have Chapman for game 1, but didn't really need the extra arm, as only 2 bullpen innings were required. Twins have added Andrew Albers to their pen for this game, but there's Kevin Chapman next to James Hoyt in the Astros bullpen. But they also have lost a pitcher to the DL since game 1, Buddy Boshears. That's a strikeout to end the top of the third. Correa gets a long drive to right center field, his 18th of the year. It's 5-0, and 4 of the runs have come on bombs.
It's 5-0 Astros leading the Twins. And it's time for our Chevy Stroh poll. Make sure to jump on Twitter, follow us at Root Sports SW, and vote. What is your favorite aspect of the game? Is it offense, defense, or pitching? You can leave your comments too. We'd love to hear them. As long as they're nice, guys.
Yeah, we always do like those comments. With that caveat you mentioned on the end there. We go to the last of the third inning. 5-0 Astros. They've been impressive with the bats. Chris Devenski off to a nice start on the mound as well. He's checking with his second baseman. Marwin Gonzalez coming back in from a stroll to the outfield. And he's all set now for Kurt Suzuki. That's strike 1.
Bear.
There's TC, the mascot of the Twins.
And all of his friends.
Feeling antisocial tonight, apparently. That's out to center field. Springer backing on it. 1 out. Danny Santana comes up next. The 12-10 game that was played this afternoon was scheduled all along. This game was not scheduled for 7-10 until last night. in case you're wondering about the size of the crowd. Santana with 2 homers, 14 runs batted in, has a .261 average. TC had to be here anyway. And that was, we understand, the Twins' choice to make this the day-night doubleheader. Major League Baseball wants rainouts to be made up as soon as possible, especially this late in the season. In for a strike, 0-2. And the other option, if this had not been a doubleheader today, would have been for the Astros to come back here Monday and make up last night's rainout.
I'd gladly trade a doubleheader for a day off.
True. That's an excellent point. I think most players would be right there with you on that one. A little bit later getting into Toronto, but especially the way things are going, it's worth it, right?
Yes.
It's been a while since the Astros have swept a doubleheader. They haven't even played one since May of 2012 at Colorado, and they got swept by the Rockies in that one. Fastball is foul back. As far as Devenski and his work in the rotation, in May he had back-to-back quality starts against Seattle and Cleveland at home, but did not get a win in either one of those despite pitching very well. In fact, he lost one of them 4-0 to Cleveland. 2 balls, 2 strikes, but he did his job. Then he went back into the bullpen where things got even better. Let's pop back out of play. Still 2-2 to Danny Santana. Astros relievers really pitch well this season. They have 19 wins, 14 losses. They had a 3.15 ERA coming into this doubleheader. Photo op time. And he got a strikeout. That's his second of the game. 8 straight retired by Devenski after the leadoff double by Dozier. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. 4th game of the road trip, and the Astros have been doing better on the road. They've won 4 of their last 6 road series. Now you might be remembering the one in Detroit when they got swept. So they certainly hit a speed bump there. They're strike 1 to Dozier, but have righted the ship on this trip. If they get a win today, they would be 26-29 on the road for the season. They already have 1 win today. If they get this one, no balls, 2 strikes. One and two. We had a question for you on Twitter about the players. You know, you take the field, sparse crowd. You've already played 1 game. You've been waiting around 3 hours for the 2nd game. Self-motivation is what it's all about, right?
Yeah, all that matters is that game on the field.
Correa makes a bad throw. It goes out of play. He was charging hard and threw the ball away. Dozier to second base on the error by Correa, his 11th.
Very uncharacteristic. Hot day, a little muggy. Maybe the hand's a little wet, but usually you see that finish with a strike right in the chest of Tyler White. Not so much right there.
Yeah, he has set the bar high, hasn't he?
Yeah. He is very good on defense.
Joe Mauer hit a fly ball to center in the 1st inning. Devenski misses. There's ball 1 for Devo. Chris, 25 years old, from Cerritos, California, facing one of the fine hitters in the game in Mauer. Chris was a Double-A All-Star last year at Corpus Christi. In for a strike, and it's 1-1. Well, he has really taken this major league opportunity and run with it this year. Smash backhanded Correa. He turns around and fires to first base. Well, that made up for the error. Sparkling play by Correa. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left. After 3, it's 5-0 Astros.
Here in Minnesota in this final game of a 4-game series, Astros lead 5-0. Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Going to focus on George Springer. Home runs by season. 2014, that rookie season for George, hit 20. Last year, remember, he had that broken bone in his hand. Limited him to 16, and here, healthy, playing extremely good baseball, has 22 home runs.
Paul Molitor's making a pitching change after 3 innings, bringing in Andrew Albers.
Best thing about baseball is you get redemption, and we see it here on Supermo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. This is right after Carlos Correa made that error that led to a 2-base error. And he gets the ball hit right back at him, had to make a tough play to get it. There's a good look at Andrew Albers, just activated and called up.
Joined the club for this game from the minors. 2-5 in his major league career, of 4.02 ERA in 11 games. Tommy Milone in 3 innings allowed 5 hits, 5 runs, had 1 walk, make it 2 walks and 1 strikeout. And Albers comes in to face Tyler White. White bounced out to shortstop in the 2nd inning.
And Brownie's talked about how the Astros are playing with a 26th man, with Kevin Chapman being able to be used in this 2nd game of the doubleheader. On the other side, the Twins were unable to get that 26th player here because of flight cancellation, so they're dealing with a 25-man roster, especially after that bullpen usage in the 1st game. Tough night.
Ground ball short, backhanded, but under the glove of Polanco, and now White has reached to open the 4th inning. The Twins have made 82 errors this season coming into this game.
There's some of that youth. That ball was hit pretty well on the backhand side, but I would guarantee you that Polanco expects himself to make that play. We saw him make some pretty good plays earlier in this series.
That's number 83 for the Twins, number 2 for Polanco. Tony Kemp singled to center in the 2nd inning. He rode home on the double by George Springer after stealing a base. That's ball 1. The speedster from Vanderbilt getting a chance here to show what he can do in the last few days, and looking pretty good doing it. Fouls that one back. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to Tony. He's had determination. He was a 2nd baseman when he was drafted, and Now plays more outfield than anything, but he's turned himself into a more versatile player. Just 24 years old, born in Franklin, Tennessee. Bouncer, here's Mauer juggling, and he'll take the out on Kemp. When he reached into the mid, he didn't have control of the baseball, so White advances on a 3 unassisted out number 1.
It's tough when you're playing first base. You get that big old mid on, you catch it at the end of the glove. It's tough to go in there and find it sometimes, but Joe Mauer, the veteran, making sure he gets that out.
George Springer had the RBI double in the second inning. He's 1 for 2, looking at ball 1. George has played in every Astros game this year. He rocks this one to right field. Over the head of Kepler. That one is going to be a 2-run opposite field homer for George Springer, number 23. And the Astros lead grows to 7-0. Springer has driven in 3. He now has 68 runs batted in.
Going Oppo Taco for number 23.
That's his 3rd bomb against the Twins this season, and he's driven in 13 against Minnesota.
Good swing. We know George has plenty of pop all over the field. Yanked a fastball for a double earlier in this game. They try to beat him away, and he beats him right back.
23 homers for George, and the Astros have hit 3 in the game. Alex Bregman with strike 1. George is the club leader. Well, that's a powerful result for that swing.
Tale of 2 clubs. You got to fight at the bat rack in the Houston Astros dugout. I guarantee you, out in that bullpen for the Minnesota Twins, they're running in cover right now, trying to hide.
In tight to Bregman. 2-1. Altuve on deck. Twins pitchers have now allowed 159 homers. 2-2. And nobody's allowed that many in the American League. Fouled away. The Astros had a difficult run with the bats. They faced some excellent pitching, and they had some slumping hitters, and they hit 201 over a period of 14 games, losing 11 of those. But they started the turnaround in the breakout Tuesday night with that 7-5 win. Now they're going to carry some gaudy numbers on to Toronto from this series. They only had 4 hits here Monday night, losing 3-1, but then 7 runs on 12 hits, 15 runs on 19 hits, and now 7 runs on 6 hits. That's out to left center field. Rosario with the running play. Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders. Jeff Bagwell in 1994 played 110 games. It was a strike shortened season, and he was hit by a pitch breaking his left hand. He hit 368. This year Jose Altuve has played 114 games. He's hitting 365, and you can compare the numbers on them. Bagwell was the MVP that year. Altuve looks at ball 1. He's 0 for 2 in this game. .365 for Jose. .433 on the road. Foul ball makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count. You were talking about that statistic, WRC,
yeah.
Weighted runs created plus.
I was talking about that before the game with you, Brownie, and you would inform me what all of that means, and those are very good numbers for some of these hitters to have around the league. And with the scrutiny these guys are being put under on a daily basis, Jose Altuve has extremely good numbers.
He grounds out. He's 0 for 3, but the Astros lead it 7-0.
Astros. 2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies memberships are on sale now for only $25. Buddies members receive a voucher for 4 tickets to a select Astros game, front-of-the-line access to Kids Run the Bases, exclusive player autograph sessions, and more. Visit astros.com/buddies for details and to purchase a membership for kids up to 12. Brownie?
Thanks, Julia. Chris Devenski with the big 7-0 lead gets a fly ball near the line. Tony Kemp over. Will not have a shot at that one. Max Kepler, the batter, with an 0-2 count. So Devenski, similar to Doug Fister in game 1, is backed with an early barrage of Astros hitting. Fister had a 6-1 lead after 2 innings in the first game. The Astros won at 15-7. It's 1-2 for Devo. Devo, August 1st against Toronto, worked 4 1/3 perfect innings in relief, striking out a career high 7. And he threw 65 pitches in that game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. At 48 right now. In his starts against Seattle and Cleveland, May 5th and 10th, he threw 103 and 104 pitches. Foul back. There are other horses in the corral with Altuve 0 for 3. Probably an unspoken relief for him to see all this offense around him. Kepler strikes out. That's number 3.
It's an extremely good changeup. Kepler's been seeing the ball well, having some good passes and good ABs in this series, but that is a tough matchup for a young hitter to hit a changeup like Devenski's.
That's ball 1 to Miguel Sano. He struck out in the first inning.
Had a good talk with Devenski yesterday before the game, also asking him about that changeup, and he said that he was a position player / pitcher in high school, and he remembers facing a pitcher that threw him 3 straight changeups and he could not hit it. Kind of put that in the back of his mind. He said when he went out to the mound, he goes, I need a pitch that's going to be able to put guys away. And he recalled that that changeup was a great pitch to left-handed hitters. Decided to work on it and developed a great one.
Sano goes to a 1-2 count with a swing and a miss.
Come on.
Stephen Stone wants to know, do the Astros still have a chance at the division title? Yes, they do. They trail by 8 games right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They've played 114 games for the season. Marwin cannot prevent that from being a hit. Devenski tried to get his glove on it. So did Marwin Gonzalez, but it trickled on through into center field for a single for Sano.
It was only the 2nd hit on the day for the Minnesota Twins. Not hit very hard. That was a good slider from Chris Devenski just off the end of the bat of Sano, and with the shift on, unable to get there.
Trevor Plouffe grounded out in the 2nd inning. George Springer comes in. Here's Marwin Gonzalez going out and getting there for a basket catch. Good play. Justin Tucker also was in pursuit. 2 down.
That was a great play. The reason I say that is because Marwin's a guy after my own heart, playing every position pretty much on the field, switch hitting, but you get moved around a lot and find yourself in some different situations, but he looked completely comfortable on tracking back into center field to make that play.
Jorge Polanco popped a short in the 2nd inning. Doug Fister talked about game 1 in his post-game interviews and the fact that with the big lead, he did not want to walk people. He walked 2 in 7 innings. He really kept pumping strikes. That allowed him to pitch 7 innings in the heat. And we know we're hearing from people in Houston. They say, hey, it's 106 here, heat index, so knock it off with the heat. But it was a warm day to pitch. Now, if you're outside pitching and Let us know what your thermometer tells you when that experience is over for you, and we'll compare that. 3 balls, no strikes, but nonetheless, we understand. Walking to your car is enough to get everybody the sense of exercising in Houston right now. In for a strike, 3-1. Yeah, pitching will raise your heart rate a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially working quickly like Devo. In for a strike, and it's 3-2.
Yeah, he's getting after it. Gives you an idea that he feels pretty comfortable out there with the stuff he's working with.
You know the old saying about Bob Gibson, he pitches like he's double parked. There it goes, and that is strike 3 call to end the 4th inning. So put another quarter in the meter, and we'll go to the 5th inning with the score 7-0 Houston. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. And by H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B. It's been the Carlos Correa Show and the Jose Altuve Show and the George Springer Show, and there are other starring players here in this series. Correa ripped one to right center field for his 2nd long home run of the day. There's strike 1. He also has a walk, 2 runs scored for Carlos. Andrew Albers, in relief of Tommy Milone, takes the count to 1-1. Well, the Astros have had difficulty hitting lefties by and large this season. Not today. 1-2.
It's one of those oddities we haven't really been able to explain throughout the season because they have very strong right-handed hitters in their lineup. Should be good matchups for some of the left-handers. I mean, for some of the right-handed hitters.
2-2. Albers is 30 years old. He went to the University of Kentucky. Foul ball by Carlos, keeps the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Albers was drafted in the 10th round in 2008 by San Diego. Full count to Correa. And time requested and granted for Carlos. Carlos is averaging about an RBI a game for the last 6 weeks. That's to right field. And that one bangs off the padding. Kepler picks it up. Correa in with a double. 28th double of the year for Correa to go with a homer and a walk in this game.
The Astros are looking to rename another city in America Crush City because they're getting it done here in Minnesota. Carlos Correa tearing the cover off the ball in this series, and what's beautiful about that is that he's driving the ball the other way.
7-0 game. That's hit number 7. Correa's had 7 hits in this series. Strike to Marwin Gonzalez. He's 1 for 2. Now Carlos has really put up big numbers here at Target Field. 8 runs batted in a 4-game series. 3 long balls in tight, and it's 1-1.
Okay.
It's 2 balls and a strike. Twins released Albers, and then he signed with the South Korean team in January of 2014. That's rocked to left center field. A high flyer by Marwin Gonzalez headed for the bullpens. That one bangs off the wall. Correa trots home to score to make it 8-0. RBI double Gonzalez. What a big day for him. He had 4 hits this afternoon, and now his 2nd hit of this game. That's his 32nd run batted in. 22nd double with Correa scoring.
If you're wondering, the acoustics are very good here at Target Field. My gosh, that and the Astros are not missing any of the mistakes that these Minnesota Twins pitchers are making. My goodness.
Strike to Evan Gattis. 8 runs on 8 hits, and we're talking about powerful hits. 3 homers and 3 doubles. Gattis looks at it. It's 1-1. Albers had 10 starts for the Twins in 2013. In tight, and it's 2-1.
Let's say the most runs in a doubleheader is 39, and it was the Texas Rangers in 2007.
Really?
Yeah, I got to double check that and look that up, just because there are only 23 runs so far in this doubleheader.
39?
Yeah.
3-1. That is impressive. That's a liner to left center, in for a hit. Marwin will turn third. He's going to be sent home by Gary Pettis. Throw is cut off, and it is now 9-0. RBI single by Gattis. That's a 4 RBI game for him.
Well, he had to sit around and watch what these guys were doing in the first game. He's happy to get in there and contribute in this game, getting him some.
There's bullpen activity now for the Twins. Marwin comes home, a 9-run lead. Here in the 5th inning, it's Preston Tucker. He's 0 for 2. Strike 1. This is the 3rd 4 RBI game of the year for Gattis, and it's only the 5th inning. Altuve and Springer have the 2 5 RBI games for Houston. No balls, 2 strikes to Tucker.
So the Texas Rangers scored 39 against Baltimore in 2007. Boston Braves in the National League scored 43. 1894.
Dozier, Polanco, and Mauer collaborate on a 4-6-3 double play. Julia?
Hey, Brownie, you guys were talking about how hot it was for that Rangers game. The out-of-town scoreboard overheated.
Ooh.
So it had to be shut down.
Oh, man.
It saw 411 pitches
Oh.
that game.
Oh, my gosh.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it does.
For them.
Tyler White takes ball 1. White reached on an error and scored in the 4th. He's 0 for 2. That's going to be back into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doubleheaders are a rarity these days in Major League Baseball. This one, the Astros are liking very much. That's rocked to left center field. White out of the box heading for second at least. Rosario picks it up on the warning track. A double for White. That's the 3rd double in the inning. And the 4th hit. It's his 10th double of the year for Tyler.
Just a cacophony of crush here at Target Field. Are you kidding me? These guys are teeing off.
It's their 4th 2-base hit to go with 3 homers and a total of 10 hits already. Tony Kemp singled, stole a base and scored in the 2nd. He's 1 for 2. That's a total of 29 hits in this game for the Astros. 24 runs scored. Keeping in mind that you probably weren't with us in game 1. Position player Eduardo Escobar pitched a scoreless inning in that game. And if you're talking about pitchers who can stretch it out and go multiple innings, Albers was the guy they were hoping could do that because of using the others in game 1. 2 balls and a strike. Tell you what, Kyle Gibson starts for them here against Kansas City tomorrow. There's going to be some pressure on him to get deep into that game. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kemp.
Yeah, you mentioned that mutual day off the Astros and Twins both have on Monday, but it seems that this Minnesota pitching staff is going to be limping into that day off.
Yeah, it can wreck a bullpen for days to have a series like this, can't it?
Yeah, then all of a sudden you got to go out and make some transactions, rotate some guys through that bullpen just so you have enough arms.
3-2 now. Tough times for Paul Molitor, whose club was such a pleasant surprise last year, pushing hard for a playoff spot up to the final couple of weeks of the season. That's strike 3. Tony Kemp is out number 3. The Astros pick up 2 more runs on 4 hits. They leave a man, and they lead it 9-0.
Want to get a special gift for the Astros fan in your life? The Houston Astros Commemorative Brick Paver Program gives you the opportunity to have your special message become a permanent part of Minute Maid Park. Visit astros.com/bricks for more details. Ronnie.
Thanks, Julia. We go to the last of the 5th inning. It's 9-0 Astros. Eddie Rosario to lead it off. Rosario moves back from ball 1 from Chris Davinsky. I had a question on Twitter about how they arrive, the experts who keep all the stats, at that figure called WHIP for a pitcher, walks and hits per innings pitched. That one goes foul. 1-1. Well, Devo is one of those guys who'd be a good example. Let's see, in 4 innings tonight, that gives him 79 1/3 innings for the season. He's given up a total of 65 hits, and he's walked 17, so he has a pretty low whip. Fly ball out to right center field. Tucker goes for it. Springer's back. Springer with a catch, and it's all about base runners per inning. That's what that whip figure is. Combination of walks and hits per innings pitched.
You like that one, Brownie?
It's a stat you can work with. It's not the be-all and end-all. How about you?
I just think it's one of the easier ones to understand as far as seeing what kind of damage is being done to the pitcher.
Right. He has a low whip figure, 1.03, so just a shade over 1 base runner per inning. That's really good.
And it's that 1 per inning, which is, I guess, the average or the baseline maybe to work with. If you're under that 1, you're doing extremely good.
Strike to Kurt Suzuki. He hit a fly ball to center earlier. No balls, 2 strikes. Well, you know, with statistics, they often require combination with other statistics to give a complete indicator of the player. And Chris Davinsky is an example of that regarding his 4 career starts. 3 of them were very good. The 4th one was not in Boston, and that skews the numbers. Liner out to left center. Kemp is over. Kemp with a play. 2 outs.
Yeah, we were talking about Jose Altuve and the weighted runs created, the OPS plus. I actually had to look both those up because they're taken into ballpark, you know, measurements and numbers and statistics to put in there.
Sure.
But they do the job for us by combining all of those criteria, crunching the numbers for us and spitting out one number.
That's right. Strike to Santana, so that would bring everybody down to a baseline, comparing a Colorado Rockies hitter with a San Diego Padres hitter. 2 totally different ballparks.
Yep.
Changeup makes it 0-2. But in Devo's case, that start at Boston May 15th was what blew up his ERA as a starter, because he only had 4 starts, and in that one he allowed 6 earned runs in 2 innings. The other 3 starts were excellent, though. Changeup again, and a swing and a miss. Santana strikes out. Gaddis throwing down to first to make it a quick 5th inning for Chris Davinsky, and a 9-0 lead. He now has qualified for his first major league win.
Twins 0. It's a beautiful thing here in the top of the 6th inning, and it's time for our fan cam presented by GulloAuto.com. Looks like a familiar Astro group right there.
Yeah, the Royceland family from Wilmer, Minnesota made it.
Plenty of Astro fans in attendance, and they are being presented quite the show.
We've gotten a chance to meet some of these fine folks from Texas. They've had a good trip, especially today. If they stayed for this one, George Springer takes, and there's strike 1 to George. He's driven in 3 with a double and a 2-run homer, 2 for 3. We've been hearing on Twitter from some of the folks who are back in Texas right now, suffering through the heat. Ross Triscalo says the heat index in Pearland was 115. He was mowing his yard. Is that like pitching? Well, we'll give you credit for a couple innings, Ross. Big cut there. Ross picked up a save today in Pearland. 1 and 2.
Tell you what, I give him a lot of credit for getting out there.
You bet. Bobby Dynamite says he didn't pitch, but walking around was kind of like, and he sent us a clip of just a big fireball walking along. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A question from Heath Turner is Albers, Andrew Albers, related to Matt Albers? No. That's a shot to center field. Rosario backing. That one hops the center field wall. Springer continues to rip the extra base hits. That's 3 in a row. 2 doubles tonight. That's his 22nd, and a home run for George.
The Astros are just being jerks right now. My gosh. I mean, they are loading up and just crushing baseballs. There is no panic whatsoever what count they're in. They are just ready to get those hands back and fire.
This is quite a show. 11 hits now. 5 doubles and 3 homers. Alex Bregman's 0 for 2 with a walk. Back to the pitcher, Albers. He checked Springer and got the out. 1 down. And wouldn't you figure 11 hits, 1 out into the 6th inning, and number 27 comes to the plate and he's 0 for 3.
That's your bizarre stat of the night.
That makes no sense. He's in a slump.
0 for 2. We got to get in the cage. Early work tomorrow.
364 average. He's grounded out 3 times. And there's strike 1 to Jose. Well, we talked about it during game 1, though. Not wishing this on him, but if he were to go hitless in this game and the Astros were to win this game, look on his face would not tell you what he did personally at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. You've probably known guys who don't act like it, but you've gotten to know them really well, and deep down inside, if they had 3 hits and the team lost, they're good.
Yeah, and even if you feel the other way, you better do a good job of hiding that, because you're going to get exposed real quick if you're one of those guys that is depressed when you go 0 for 4 and your team scores 9 runs.
Mm-hmm. No balls, 2 strikes. Paul Molitor's had a rough day, but his club pounded the Cleveland Indians' vaunted pitching staff just about a week ago in Cleveland. So Paul is probably having a hard time figuring out which Twins are the real Twins. They beat Cleveland 12-5, 10-6, and 13-5, 3 straight games in Cleveland.
That's saying something against that pitching staff.
Grounded slowly to third. Plouffe with a barehanded effort, and he didn't get him. There's an infield hit for Altuve. 164th hit of the year. That's number 994 in his career.
Extends that on base streak too. Road warrior Jose Altuve creeping up on Jeff Bagwell with that 41st straight game of getting on base.
And he's also hit in 11 straight games at Target Field now. Springer at second base, Altuve at first for Correa. Correa has a walk, a homer, and a double. 3 runs scored. Batting average up to 274 now. In the dirt, and there's ball 1. Carlos was at 268 at the end of July. But he's been doing it with powerful hits. Fly ball, right field line. And this is headed for the seats. Joe Mauer gave chase. Fan wound up with it, and it's 1-1. Correa call time. MKT on Twitter wants to know if the team returned to the hotel for the 3-hour break. Nope. Stayed right here. They checked out this morning, so there wouldn't have been rooms for them. That's a liner and caught by Polanco. Excellent play. That one was scorched. Looked like maybe another double, or at least a single for Correa, but he's denied by Polanco.
About ripped his arm off making the play. The outs are firm from the Astros. Ball got out there in a hurry. Great. You know what, George Springer, that's a great piece of base running right there. Even in this game, 9 runs, not lackadaisical in the fundamentals. Froze on that line drive.
Yes. Ball 1. Well, you know, it's just like we've talked about Mike Matheny over the years, maintaining his good habits, blocking balls without men on base. Even in a blowout game, it's nice to see players maintaining those good habits.
Yes.
Marwin has 2 hits, including an RBI double. And it's 2-0. Mr. Versatility? Yeah, I think you'd have to say so. That's in for a strike, and it's 2-1 on Marwin. Gene Berry just turned on the game. I wanted to know if Root Sports edited out all the people from the seats. No.
No, I think the crowd noise would indicate that that's not edited out.
Yes, it would.
Although it feels like we turned off the field mics until you hear the Astros make contact. My goodness.
2 balls, 2 strikes. There could be a souvenir for everybody by the time the end of the night arrives, right?
Well, the odds are in the fans' favor, yes.
Last night, if you were watching, and the game, as you know, was a rainout, but they did play 2 1/3 innings. They gave out umbrellas to the fans, Twins umbrellas. Very timely promotion because it rained and poured all night. Gonzalez caught looking. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. The Astros lead it 9-0 in the 6th.
Astros over the Minnesota Twins here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's time for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Around the major leagues, you're going to hear about Alex Rodriguez. He will play his final game tomorrow as an active Major League Baseball player. Jay Happ, ex-Astro, first pitcher to 16 wins, having himself a pretty good season. That's most in all of Major League Baseball. The Chicago Cubs, 71-41. First time since 1969 with 30-plus games over 500.
Kevin Chapman comes in. He was just recalled today for this one game from the minor leagues. 26th man on the roster for game 2 of a doubleheader. 3-1 in his major league career. There's ball 1. Chris Davinsky really did a job. 5 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball for Devo. He didn't walk anybody. He fanned 5. He's qualified for major league win number 1. Now the bullpen comes in. And Chapman throws there to the leadoff man, Brian Dozier. It's a 1-1 count. Dozier doubled in the first, reached on an error in the third. Chapman misses there, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Tony Sipp has been the only lefty in the bullpen. Tony came in and worked an inning in game 1 of the doubleheader, giving up 2 hits and a run in the 15-7 victory. In the air to center and deep. Springer way back on the warning track, and George Springer has it. One long out.
It's going to feel good for George just to know he's got plenty of room to roam out there.
He's been a right fielder par excellence this year, but he does fine in center. Certainly a quality major league center fielder. Joe Mauer is 0 for 2. There is strike 1 to Mauer. Jake Marisnick is terrific in center field. He played game 1 there, and he's been playing there quite a bit the last few days. Nice to have the flexibility for Springer to play center. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Carlos Gomez no longer part of the Astros roster, and that will mean some different ways of using these outfielders, it would appear.
And scoring runs, apparently.
Well, people are on Twitter wondering if this is a reaction to Carlos Gomez not being here anymore. I think that would be...
That's a stretch.
Yeah. a bit of a quick conclusion.
Yeah, I say it in jest because I'm with you. I don't think removing a guy out of a clubhouse is going to create this kind of spark. These guys are just good hitters getting good hits.
Yeah, they are. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I didn't hear any player knock Carlos Gomez, say anything negative about him. Certainly he had a difficult time. Players can relate to that. That's a line shot into left center field. That's what Joe Mauer does. We go to Julia Morales.
Thank you, Brownie. Come celebrate your birthday the Astros way. Surround yourself with the excitement of cheering on the Houston Astros while throwing a birthday party at Minute Maid Park. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 713-259-8996.
You just reminded me of something we were talking about before the game, Julia. And we'll get to that as Max Kepler bats. Kepler is 0 for 2. Astros are going to go ahead with their plans in center field for the ballpark for next year. And they're going to be adding some entertainment areas with the field renovation plans for 2017. There was a release that was sent out today about that. Out to right field. Here's Tucker coming over toward the line, taking care of out number 2.
Does that include the removal of Tal's Hill, or are they going to work around it?
I believe it is the removal. Yes, it does.
So similar to the plans we heard about last year.
Yes, it does say that in the release. Removal of Tal's Hill. Construction on the new center field area will begin immediately following the conclusion of the 2016 season. Will be ready for fans to enjoy by the start of 2017. Renovation will include improved seating options, new food and beverage options, the addition of escalators to improve fan access, and revisions to the playing field, including the removal of Tal's Hill, it says. Sano, the batter, he's 1 for 2, and that's ball 1. The construction will mean different center field dimensions to the ballpark now. So it'll be a distance coming from 436 feet, which it is now, to 409 feet in center. That's a shot to left center field. Sano hits a gapper. Here's Maurer to third base. He's going to be sent home by Gene Glenn. Correa will not make the relay throw, and it's 9-1. RBI double Sano. 49th run batted in for him.
It's a rude welcome back for Kevin Chapman. Sano swings a good stick, takes that pitch down, drives it into that left center field gap. First run and RBI in this game for the Minnesota Twins.
Sano has 2 of their 4 hits now. Trevor Plouffe is the batter. Plouffe is 0 for 2. Here's ball 1 from Chapman. That renovation in center field will not change the seating capacity, but will have improved visibility for fans to enjoy the game from center field, according to the release today.
You know what I'm curious about is how that's going to change the batting eye.
Right.
Because that's going to be altered a little bit.
Yes, it will. Now this year, the Astros have hit nearly 10 balls to Tal's Hill for extra bases, and in the renovated distance, they would all have been home runs. And for a strike, 1 and 2. There will be 3 new bar locations, 4 additional food locations, and a premium group seating area at field level, creating the first and only field level seating area available at Minute Maid Park. That's next year. Foul back, still 1 and 2 to Plouffe.
We got some time. We're going to look at our Lexus defensive rankings. George Springer moving into center field. You know not to run on him, and I think it's reasonable to expect the Minnesota Twins to test Preston Tucker and Tony Kemp, youngsters to that outfield mix. Test those arms.
Line shot left field. Kemp with the catch in the 6th inning for the Twins. It's 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 left after 6. 9-1 Astros.
to announce the winner of our Chevy Stroh poll. Thanks for voting at Root Sports SW, where we post the poll. Which part of the game do you enjoy the most was the question today. 70% of you voted for offense, and you are getting to see a lot of it today if you've been tuning into both of these games, guys.
Yes. Well, yeah, especially earlier today, if you were with us for game one of the doubleheader, 15 runs on 19 hits. The Astros winning 15-7. And now tonight, through 6 innings, 9 runs on 12 hits. Evan Gattis has 2 of those, a 3-run homer and an RBI single. Eduardo Escobar has moved in for the Twins to play second base, taking over for Dozier. Strike 1 to Gattis. Inning number 4 beginning for Andrew Albers. So far he's allowed 7 hits and 3 earned runs through 3 innings in relief of Tommy Milone. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Chris Devenski threw 71 pitches, 51 of them strikes. High percentage. Center fielder Rosario moves over into right center. 1 out for Albers here in the 7th. And Devo just really delivered on his 5th start of the year. Coming out of the bullpen to give the Astros 5 strong innings. Now Preston Tucker, he's 0 for 3. No walks, 5 strikeouts for Chris Devenski in 5 innings, giving up 2 hits. Albers has thrown 65 pitches in relief. Just about as many as Devo threw as the starter. There's strike 1. In for strike 2. Arizona shut out the Mets in New York 9-0. Pittsburgh blank San Diego 4-0. That strike 3 call on Tucker, 2 outs. 3rd strikeout for Albers.
Strike zone is getting generous here late in this ball game.
Tyler White is 1 for 3, a double in the 5th. White takes it, and it's ball 1. And the Rockies' 12-9 win over the Rangers in Texas. They came up with 5 in the 8th inning to put them over the top, saddling Jake Diekman with the loss. 2-0. Charlie Blackmon hit his 15th homer. It came off Texas starter Lucas Harrell, who allowed 6 earned runs in 6 innings. That's called a strike to White. 2-1. Rougned Odor hit his 22nd homer. Adrian Beltre, number 18. Mitch Moreland, number 19 for the Rangers. Punched into right field. White takes it the other way, and he's 2 for 4.
It's good to see Tyler White taking advantage of some of these ABs and some of these pitches he's seeing. Get that confidence back, get that rhythm, that timing.
Tony Kemp follows. Grounds 1 to 3rd. Plouffe across the diamond to Mauer. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Middle of the 7th inning. 9-1 Astros.
presented by authority of Houston Astros, LLC, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Houston Astros, LLC.
It's a big lead for the Astros. Kevin Chapman comes out for his second relief inning here. Minnie and Paul, the Minnesota Twins, shaking hands. Astros 9, Twins 1. Bottom of the 7th inning. And it's Jorge Polanco batting. He is 0 for 2. Ball 1 from Kevin Chapman, starting his second inning of relief work after Chris Davinsky went 5 shutout. It's a 2-0 count. Chapman made the trip from El Paso, where the Astros AAA Fresno club was playing. A shot into left field. Polanco opens the home 7th with a single. Julia?
Support the Astros Foundation by participating in our 50-50 raffle. Purchase tickets throughout the ballpark during all home games at Minute Maid Park. One lucky fan will win big every time. For more information, visit astros.com/share2care.
That's been a big fundraiser for charity. Very popular with the fans. Eddie Rosario is 0 for 2. Talked about the Fresno club playing in El Paso. They won last night 10-8. Brady Rogers got his 12th win. He's 12-3 with a 2.76 ERA. He gave up 3 earned runs in 6 innings, so that disqualified him from being called up to start this game, in case the Astros were considering that. And he's been a guy whose name has been dropped a few times this year. There's a bouncer into left field. Rosario singles. Polanco to second with nobody out for Suzuki now. Suzuki's 0 for 2, 2 fly ball outs. John Kemmer hit his 13th homer last night for Fresno in the 10-8 win. Not too far away from September call-ups, Plummer.
That is very true. Those locker rooms get crammed.
They do, don't they?
September, you don't want to have a trip to Wrigley or Boston or LA Dodgers. Ooh.
Small clubhouses. Suzuki looks at ball 1. Corpus Christi shaded Arkansas last night 5-4. Yulieski Gurriel at third base went 1 for 4. Kent Emanuel won his 4th. Ground ball, and that's fair. Past Bregman into the left field corner, scoring Polanco to make it 9-2. RBI double by Suzuki, and he put it right on the line.
Snuck that one inside the third baseline. Mislocation from Kevin Chapman. Bregman gave it his best effort, unable to get there.
Bregman's played well at third base.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of what he's done down there.
Brent Strom's coming out. We're getting questions on Twitter about Gurriel. When will he join the Astros? We answered that earlier. We think it could be the St. Louis series at home next week, starting Tuesday night. Whenever it is, it's been made pretty clear by the skipper, A.J. Hinch, that he'll be a third baseman and maybe a DH part of the time. He's 32 years old. He has not played competitively since February until he went to Lancaster or played a few games in Florida prior to that. The Astros really don't want to move him around a lot to different positions. They think that Alex Bregman is somebody who can do that for them.
No, I think that's explained perfectly, and that's kind of the gist we're getting from A.J. Hinch and the organization. Even as well as Alex Bregman has played at third base, I think there's still an opportunity for him to move around that outfield. We've seen tonight there might be some opportunities out there in the outfield, especially if he keeps swinging the bat well.
Yeah.
But it's all about creating depth in that lineup or putting your best hitters in that lineup, and that may be the best way to do it, having Gurriel at third base.
It might be. We've had questions. How good will he be defensively? We simply do not know. I haven't seen him.
Yeah.
We've read a few things, but let's see how it goes for him.
Yeah, there's one way to find out, right?
That's it.
Throw him into the fire and watch him do his thing.
Well, we've all gotten caught up in scouting reports before from minor leaguers that we've never seen, right?
Yes.
Santana strikes out. That's 1 out.
Whatever Brent Strom said, it worked.
Yeah.
Or you just faced the guy that got his 3rd punch out of the night.
A.J. Hinch comes out. Now 9 batters faced by Chapman, and that's all that's going to be asked of him tonight. 9-2 Astros. Back in a moment.
Out here, and it's 9-2 Astros in the lead. James Hoyt taking the mound. One of the many rookies on this Astros club right now has had such a quick turnover here in the last couple of weeks. 9 rookies on this 25-man roster. Guys like Carlos Correa, who's one of the younger guys on the team, is the one everyone's looking to. Jose Altuve, these guys aren't very old, but they're having to become leaders and act like a veteran and teach these guys what it's like to be in the big leagues. And Jeff Luhnow mentioned this roster right now, saying that we need these guys to step up. We need them to help us out. He thinks that they have enough talent to keep winning, and we've seen it in the past couple of days. But he also said that they're looking at other options, other players around the league. So the front office is not done working yet, guys. Even though the trade deadline has passed, you both know this continues on.
We do. From Boise, Idaho, 29-year-old James Hoyt. Pitched very well at Fresno, 28 saves and 31 opportunities. He's fit into the Astros bullpen mix. He throws in there is ball 1 to the guy in the leadoff spot right now, Eduardo Escobar. Brian Dozier started the game in that spot. He went 1 for 3, a double. Escobar now coming off the bench to try to keep this rally going. Has been in the game defensively already. Escobar takes a look at it, and Hoyt has a 2-0 count. Hoyt has thrown hard this year. He's developed a split-fingered fastball that he used in winter ball. He worked Monday, 1 scoreless inning. That was his 4th major league appearance. Made his debut last Wednesday against Toronto with a scoreless inning. Line to second, caught by Marwin Gonzalez. 2 outs. That will be Joe Mauer.
Seen the shift busted a little bit, but right here it pays off. It was a rocket hit right to where Marwin Gonzalez was perfectly placed.
Mauer singled and scored in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. Hoyt came along with Evan Gattis in the trade involving Mike Foltynewicz and 2 prospects to Atlanta. In for a strike. James made his major league debut at age 29 Only one other Astro, right-handed pitcher Don Bradley, who was some days older at age 29 plus. Back in 1964 against the Dodgers, had an older debut with the club than Hoyt. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Louis got a run in the first at Chicago, and that 1-0 lead is holding up so far. Cardinals are batting now in the top of the 5th inning against John Lester. Carlos Martinez is on the mound for the Redbirds. They'll be in Houston next Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. The Cardinals are right in the thick of things in the wild card of the National League with a 60-54 record. Diving Correa, he gets up, fires to first in a 9-2 ball game. He makes a sparkling play to the right, and that ends it in the 7th inning. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 men left, thanks to this fine play by Correa, who's doing it all today and tonight. We move to the 8th inning, and a big thanks to our fine crew here in Minneapolis, St. Paul for the tremendous long day's effort with 2 telecasts. Great job.
Really good job.
George Springer steps up for the 8th inning and looks at ball 1. He has 3 hits, all for extra bases. A homer, 2 doubles. He's driven in 3 in this game. And he had 2 hits earlier in the day game and drove in 3 in that one. A 6 RBI day for George. It's 2 balls, no strikes. In for a strike, and it's 2-1. Vinny G wants to know on Twitter what happens to stats from a rained out game. They didn't happen. Why was the rain out started over and not where it left off? That's the rule. It has to go 4.5 innings if the home team has the lead, which was the case last night. So that game is in cyberspace. It never happened.
There's not a cloud that can hold that game.
Springer takes the walk. And George continues. Just an outstanding series. Alex Bregman will follow. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
I don't normally feel bad for pitchers, but I'm starting to feel for Andrew Albers.
Yeah.
80 pitches. He just came up today.
Yeah, he's wearing it tonight. For the good of the team, there's strike 1. And I think guys who are called up in this situation realize that they might be into a game like this. Not what anybody would wish, though.
No.
Ground ball through the hole into left field, and Bregman now takes his hitting streak to 6 games. And now everybody except Preston Tucker in the lineup has reached the hit column.
give up on those ABs.
Game one, everybody except one player. Jake Marisnick had a hit. He was 0 for 5, but he scored a run and he drew a walk. Now A.J. Reed is the pinch hitter for Altuve, the DH. 154, 2 homers, 4 runs batted in for Reed. Strike one. A.J. started in game one. He had 2 hits and a walk and was robbed in the 9th inning by Kepler's fine play on his line drive to right field. 1-1. So Altuve was 1 for 4 in this game. That gave him 5 hits today in 9 at bats. Two balls and a strike. Good idea to get Altuve off his feet at second base, DH him here, and that may help him to be a little bit fresher for tomorrow night. He's played all but one of the Astros' 114 games. Springer has played in all of them. Springer might be coming in for a day off soon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have Monday off. Sometimes a manager will pick a guy who's really been grinding it and give him a day off either before or after the regularly scheduled day off. That's a strikeout looking. That's a 4th strikeout for Albers.
Tell you what, AJ gave the umpire a look, but he might have to rethink that look after seeing where that pitch was.
Okay. Correa bats now. Rips one and is on through Trevor Plouffe into left field. Springer comes around to score to make it 10-2. Plouffe unable to play that to the backhand side. Ball was hit sharply, but Major League third baseman needs to make that play. And Springer scores for the 2nd time in this game.
I mean, there's times that plays need to be made in tight ball games. That was a play that needed to be made in a blowout.
Yes. Plouffe draws his 6th error of the year, 2nd miscue by the Twins. Runners at 1st and 2nd now. And it's grounded foul by Marwin. Marwin has 2 hits in this one, 6 hits for the doubleheader. 10 runs, 14 hits for the Astros, a total of 25 runs, 33 hits in the twin bill. Plouffe gets another chance, goes to second for 1. Escobar turns to first, 5-4-3 double play. 1 run scoring on 1 hit with 1 error and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 10-2 Astros. Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Lexus, the new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. What a beautiful night.
That was a great shot right there.
The land of 10,000 lakes. The state of Minnesota. The Astros have found it to be beautiful on the field. At Target Field, they're trying to make it 3 wins in a 4-game series. They lead at 10-2. Bottom of the 8th inning. Max Kepler leads it off. He's 0 for 3. James Hoyt on the mound. He's pitcher number 3 tonight. It is strike 1. Red Sox lead the Yankees 2-1. They're in the top of the 8th at Boston. Indians are banging away on the Angels 10-3 in the bottom of the 5th in Cleveland. No balls, 2 strikes for James Hoyt. Andrew Albers in 4 innings of relief has done a job. He's now pitched 5 innings in relief. Foul ball keeps the count at 0-2. We're going to check the updated Jose Altuve batting average after his 1 for 4 game 2. Altuve had 4 hits in game 1. He drove in 3 runs. And he'll head into Toronto with 71 runs batted in for the season. That's a punch out for Hoyt for out number 1, getting Kepler.
Just a little downer from James Hoyt on that slider. Good action.
Altuve is hitting .365 right now. Sano has 2 hits and 3 at bats. Infield shifts around. Strike 2, Sano. Why is a 5-4-3 double play called around the horn?
Goes from corner to corner. It's 5. Goes from third base to second base to first base.
So if you were sailing around Cape Horn, you would do it 5-4-3, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, if you would imagine the way the geography of Cape Horn is.
I would have to imagine.
Yeah, that's true. You would. We all would, right? Maybe some people have done it.
Go on, though. I want to hear.
All right. Well, if you're going from the east side of Cape Horn to the west, that would be the direction of a 5-4-3 double play.
I like your explanation better.
Two and two.
Hence, around the horn.
And, you know, a lot of phrases in baseball, and people, some people are tired of hearing of it. But Milo Hamilton did a great job of explaining the term on deck, meaning where number 24 is right now for the Minnesota Twins in the on-deck circle. And in the hold, it's not in the hole, it's in the hold. Those are naval terms. You know what on deck is, on the deck of the ship. And in the hold would be in the cargo hold of the ship. The guy on deck is up on the field level. The guy in the hold is down at dugout level, 1 level below on deck.
That's good stuff. This is why we have double headers.
Yeah. Also, we're out of sponsored stuff. He struck him out, and that's out number 2.
Another good slider down in the zone. Beautiful location, catching that bottom edge.
Good work by Hoyt. Trevor Plouffe is 0 for 3. It's been an interesting experience, this day-night Twin Bill.
This is my first up here in the booth.
What do you think?
I'm burned out.
Yeah.
But I'm burned out in a good way because I am truly appreciative of what the Astros have done.
Yes.
Putting up this many runs, showing us how to swing the bat, making some loud noises with the sticks.
Bouncer Tyler White, nope, didn't make the play. Tried the sliding effort, got his mitt on it, couldn't hold it, and Plouffe is on.
Interesting to see how they score that. They give it an error. It was a tough play for Tyler White. Kind of get that in-between hop. He tried to get back, and a lot of people might call that the old Olay play, but he was trying to create an angle to get him, see that ball a little bit longer and get a glove on it, just unable to do it.
We're still looking up the board. They haven't ruled yet, or it's not posted anyway. I would guess error. Polanco is 1 for 3. No, it's ruled a hit. So Plouffe gets a single. Yeah, it is a very long day, and we mentioned the TV crew. They get here extremely early in the morning, and then they're here late at night with the doubleheader. But you can give us the perspective of a player, and I would think the concentration would be something that you really have to fight on a day like this.
Yeah, you do, and those extra inning games are a good example of it too, really fighting for that focus. But these games are almost a little bit tougher, especially if you're the Twins right now, because you're getting hammered on. You're standing on defense for what seems like a half an hour every inning.
Backhanded Correa, safe at first on a close one. That'll be a single for Polanco.
And if you're on the Astros side, you're a little more focused because you're that greed. You want those hits. You want to make the great plays. You want to pick up your pitcher, just like you saw Carlos Correa try to do. Not giving up here late in this ball game of the second game of the doubleheader. But yeah, ultimately it comes down to focus, because we know if the mind is right, the body's going to follow. You are going to be fatigued, but you have time to take a nap on an airplane, fly in to Toronto, and get your rest tomorrow before heading out and trying to play another big league game. Baseball's tough enough as it is, and then you add these double headers, travel days, different game times. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Rosario takes ball 1. That was a close play at first base. Rosario singled in the 7th inning. Our buddy Matt Bolts over in the Astros radio booth, producer engineer extraordinaire, was so tired that when the airplane landed in Minneapolis, St. Paul, he slept right through the landing.
It's either a very good landing or he was like outrageously tired.
Tap toward the first baseman White. He tosses. Hoyt is there for the out. And in the 8th inning, it's no runs, a couple of hits, 2 men left. We go to the 9th with the Astros up 10-2. Here it is, brought to you by Miller Lite, showing you the long balls for the Astros in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Evan Gattis ripped one. That was number 18 of the year, a 3-run shot in the 2nd inning off Tommy Milone, 3-0 Astros. Carlos Correa sent one a long way to right center field, his 2nd of the day. That was a high flyer, number 18 of the year for him. And George Springer chimed in. This is number 2 Or 2-run shot for him, rather, number 3 of the night for the Astros, and he hit a deep drive to right field. So Springer, the third Astro to homer. It's a 10-2 lead for Houston. Now here's the 9th inning, and it's Evan Gattis. Gattis hits a foul fly ball. There's strike 1.
See Altuve after George Springer got done doing his little dance after the home run?
No.
Altuve comes right in and goes, "Hey, was that a sinker?" I mean, he wanted to know what the pitcher was coming with. He is anticipating at bats. He's like, "Hey, I need some information."
That's beautiful.
That is great.
0-2 to Gattis. Strike 3 call. And Albers is a real warrior in this game. He took over in the 4th inning with his club trailing 5-0. That's his 5th strikeout. 93 pitches in relief.
Yeah, I think the bullpen should carry Albers home. Buy him a nice meal.
For sure. Preston Tucker 0 for 4. Trying to chime in on this 14-hit attack. There's ball 1.
He's got to, doesn't he?
Yes. That's what he's thinking right now.
Yeah, just for sanity's sake.
Yeah, that's a tough flight if you've gone, we'll say 0 for 4 plus, whatever he does here. And you're not in that hit column. And a big 10-2 win.
Sit there flying to Toronto, listening to everybody else talk about their ABs.
It's not enjoyable.
No. But it's crazy how the game works. It seems like in a lot of those blowouts, there's one guy that just wears it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be Preston. He's going to get himself a 2-out knock right here.
He bounces 1 to short. Polanco long throw in time. 2 outs. Jennifer Hamilton sent us a note on Twitter. She got out of jury duty early, and she's been able to spend the day watching Astros baseball.
That's a good day.
Thanks, Jennifer. Ken Giles works in the pen. And thank you for serving on jury duty. Too many people do not do that.
I got to do it this offseason.
How was it?
I didn't get chosen.
It's all right. You win.
I did. I hung out in there for a good 5-6 hours.
Ball 1 to Tyler White. He's 2 for 4. It's not your fault if you don't get chosen. Into right field, and White gets his 3rd straight hit. 3 for 5 in this game. Tony Camp will bat. He's 1 for 4.
Next pitch will be number 100 for Andrew Albers.
That is amazing.
It really is.
.100 pitches in relief, 64 of them strikes for Andrew Albers. No balls, 2 strikes. Can you remember a relief performance with more pitches than that?
Not this quickly. That's why I'm so astonished. It's pretty impressive what he's going out there and doing.
Gets 1 more out. It's 6 innings in relief.
And granted, the numbers aren't going to look all that impressive when you finally look at the box score, but his street credibility inside that clubhouse is going to go way up.
The Golden Voice on Twitter tells us the infield is shaped like a trumpet, hence around the horn. See field diagram. A shot into center field. It's a rocket off the bat of Camp. Tony's 2nd hit of the game.
It's a good piece of hitting. Nose down on the ball. Bring the hands through first. Lag that barrel a little bit and then rip it up the middle.
That's a total of 35 hits in the doubleheader for the Astros, 25 runs. George Springer has been a big contributor today. 3 for 4 in this game with a walk. Strike one to George. In for a strike, and it's 0-2. The Twins went to their bullpen in the 3rd inning in the day game and in the 4th inning in the night game of this twin bill. Springer spins around. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Win number 60 on the horizon here for the Astros. They would go on to Toronto with a 60-55 record with a victory in this game. They would be 5-6 in August. And the Blue Jays showed what a tough team they are when they waltzed into Houston and won 3 of 4. They really pitched well. The Astros will not face Jay Happ, who won his 16th today. And he was one of those guys who pitched extremely well at Minute Maid Park. But they get the lefty Francisco Liriano tomorrow night. Joe Musgrove, former Blue Jay farmhand, draws him. Saturday afternoon, it's Aaron Sanchez. He's 11-2 with a 2.85 ERA against Colin McHugh. Sunday, Marcus Stroman, who really did well against the Astros, against Mike Fiers. Fly ball right field. Kepler coming over with the play to end the top of the 9th. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. 10-2 Astros.
Over the Minnesota Twins. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to AtBat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Astros fans really have enjoyed this trip to the ballpark. Ken Giles is 1-3, his ERA 3.77. And since June 21st in 16 games, he's given up 1 run.
Pretty good. Got good command of that fastball and slider back. So good. Didn't he get 5 punch-outs in, what, an inning and 2/3 the other day?
Yeah, in fact, he got 6.
6, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Grossly underestimated.
He had 4 in 1 inning. His slider was a bit hard to handle, and the hitters certainly can attest to that. Kurt Suzuki has an RBI double in 3 trips. Bottom of the 9th inning, 10-2 Astros. He leans back from strike 1. James Hoyt in 1 2/3 innings gave up 2 hits, no runs, had no walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 23 pitches, 16 for strikes. Kevin Chapman threw 28 pitches, 18 for strikes in his inning in the third, giving up 5 hits and a run. Giles pitcher number 4 for A.J. Hinch. And the appeal went to first base. Marty Foster with the call that the swing was checked by Suzuki. It's 1-1. We did some checking after we got, and thank you very much for whoever responded on Twitter about 100 pitch relief outings. Yeah, one of the Astros did it, Michael Feliz, in that first series of the year. How soon we forget.
First game of the year, that's crazy.
That
was Colin McHugh's first outing of the year. Sorry.
Yeah, game 2, and yeah, Colin left in the second inning, I believe it was, or was it the first? Anyway, it was early. And Michael Feliz threw 107 pitches in relief. That's a shot up the left field line, and that's a foul ball. Fan did his best to hold it. But tonight, Andrew Albers threw one more pitch than Feliz did. He threw 108 in his 6 innings of relief, giving up 11 hits and 5 runs. And 3 of those runs were earned, walking 1, fanning 5, 108 pitches in relief for Andrew Albers. Fouled away. As Julia told us earlier, Ken Giles and his wife are expecting a child very soon. It's quite possible he will be heading back to Houston. So he's helping the bullpen out here in what could be his final game for a few days. The paternity leave allowed players is 3 days. Two and two. Fastball rocketed to right field. Tucker back on the track. 1 out. Santana will follow. Ron Whitebread wants to know the last time the Astros scored 25 runs in one day. Good question, Rod. We do not have the answer for that right now. We need to get it by tomorrow night, though. Danny Santana's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. That's strike 1. Sure makes their run differential look a whole lot better for the season. They're at plus 51 runs more than their opponents for the season as of right now. Foul ball makes it 0-2. Joe Musgrove and Francisco Liriano tomorrow night at Rogers Center in Toronto. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You like that ballpark, Blummer?
Up in Toronto?
Yes.
I liked hitting there. I like that booth, too. The booth there's massive.
Yes, it is.
Room to sprawl out. No, it's not too bad. I mean, it's nice that, they have the retractable roof so you can enjoy some of the good weather up there when they do have it.
That's a punch out for out number 2.
Wow.
There you have the 3 days of the series mapped out for you as far as starting pitching. It's going to be interesting with Toronto now going with a 6-man rotation, primarily because of the Saturday starter, Aaron Sanchez. He has exceeded any innings that he's ever had as a professional. They want to keep using him, but not accrue so many innings. Strike 1 to Escobar. The one plan that was discussed was to put Sanchez in the bullpen, but he's been so very good as a starter, they decided to go with a 6-man rotation.
Hoping those days of rest offset those innings.
Fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes. We've talked often about the Steven Strasburg situation in 2012 with Washington. They shut him down and talked about how they'd have more playoff opportunities coming up. Well, the Blue Jays seem to be going the opposite way.
That comment about the playoffs is spoken by a guy, unfortunately, that doesn't understand how rare it is for a team to get to the playoffs.
And maybe the years since then have brought that understanding.
Yeah, and I think they really, you know, I would say regret that decision, because I think the Toronto Blue Jays are approaching it and kind of adjusting on the fly, and I think going with that 6-man rotation might benefit them, because it's interesting to think you could take Aaron Sanchez out of that rotation, put him in the bullpen, because you can still use him effectively because he's just such a great talent and knows how to get guys out. But on the other hand, why not keep him in that rotation if you can create that 6-man rotation and give him those 5 days rest, stretch him out a little bit, and keep him in that rotation, so every 6 days you get him for maybe 6+ innings of good pitching.
Fastball to Hopper to second, and the play to first takes care of it. It's a 1-2-3 9th inning. Alex Bregman wound up at second base with that final play, and 10-2 the final as Carlos Correa has a huge day. Had a homer and a double tonight, scored 3 runs. A 3-run homer earlier today in the day game, and the Astros sweep the Twin Bill. They win this one 10-2. Davinsky gets his first major league win. Malone the loser. We'll be right back.